join me in extending a warm welcome to Dr. Georgia Matthew with a big round of applause.
Very good morning to the dignitaries and the participants. A man found some children picking up some nuts and bolts on a railway track. He was a very rich man. He thought of providing a very good education to these children. So he took them, he gave them good education to them, engineering education to them. Now after the education, the story says that they went to the same track. No more they are stealing the nuts and bolts, but now they have the technology to steal the entire track. So this is education without values. Education without values will only create intellectual barbarians. So today, I would like to talk to you about values and ethics in education as a continuation to the session which we just had. Our respected chairman spoke about the importance of ethics. But I will be speaking to you generally about the importance of values and ethics in education and also the role of the teacher in imbibing these values in our children. See, there are many concerns. I think you all read the recent news that NAC, National Assessment and Accreditation Council, has removed around 900 of its assessors. You know the reason? Lack of ethics, lack of values. So, this is a very, very important subject. And whatever committees and commissions that have been appointed by the government, they all suggested that there should be a rethink about the curriculum, including value education and ethics in the curriculum. Whether it be the University Education Commission of 1950, Secondary Education Commission of 1953, and of course, there were some committees specially appointed. In 1959, a committee was appointed by the government on religious and moral instruction. It was exclusively to deal with this issue. And Education Commission 1964, 66, and National Policy on Education. So, whatever you take the commission's committees, they all suggested the importance of including ethics and values in education. National Policy of 2020, National Education Policy. There are many paragraphs which you will read about values. I'll just share a few things. It says that value-based education will include the development of humanistic, ethical, constitutional and universal human values of truth, righteous conduct, peace, non-violence, scientific temper, citizenship values, and also life skills, lessons in service and participation in community service programs will be considered as an integral part of holistic education. The school curriculum will include early on the material on human values such as respect for all persons, empathy, non-violence, global citizenship, inclusion and equity. So like that you can find many paragraphs in National Education Policy 2020 also about ethics, importance of ethics and values. So what is value education? By value education, we refer to a planned educational action aimed at the development of proper attitudes, values, emotions, and character in the learner. The Committee on Moral and Religious Instruction, 1959, they distinguished between moral values and spiritual values. It says that anything that helps us to behave properly towards others is of a moral value. Anything that takes us out of ourselves and inspires us to sacrifice for the good of others is a spiritual value. So, values and ethics are the most important part of, or should be the most important part of our country. When we talk of ethics, it is a systematic approach to analyze and distinguish what is right and wrong, what is good and bad, understand them as they relate to the well-being of the relationships. So it is the moral philosophy to be practiced by a person or a group of people. So it will set the standard of what is right and wrong. So in education, ethics and values have a very important and effective role. So ethics should be introduced in the education system so that it will make an individual a good human being. So value education has the capacity to transform a diseased mind into a very young, fresh, innocent, healthy and natural or attentive mind. The transformed mind is capable of higher sensitivity and a heightened level of perception. I would like to quote from Young India, a weekly newspaper where Mahatma Gandhi, the father of our nation, used to write. And Mahatma Gandhi in that wrote, "Politics without principle, wealth without work, pleasure without conscience, knowledge without character, commerce without morality, science without humanity, worship without sacrifice are the 7 social sins." So every single of these sins is an example of selfishness winning out over the common good. So they refer to behaviors that go against ethical code and thereby weaken the society. So it says that wealth, pleasure, science, knowledge, worship, these are all abstract. They don't inherently come with rules. But Gandhiji brings as the baseline, nothing is without its proper balance. Wealth should be earned through work. Pleasure is enjoyed responsibly. Science must regard the feelings and fate of the individuals. Politics should be conducted with principle. And when values are strongly held, people respond weakly to crisis, which in turn threatens the social fabric. So adherence to values should be part and parcel of our lives. And today, our young people, they are confused. They are confused about their values and the value system. They face value conflicts and dilemmas. This is mainly due to the dramatic and far-reaching socio-cultural and political changes that are taking place in our country and in other parts of the world. Many young people, they openly reject some of the traditional values and question dogmatic beliefs held sacred for centuries. Often it happens that such people do not find replacements for the traditional values, and hence a kind of vacuum is created in their life. And this is not desirable, because in the absence of values, they have no principle or foundation on the basis of which they can face life situations, make choices and decisions. And we have seen many young people, they end their life because they have no purpose for their life. So a life without values will become chaotic and disastrous. So value education will inculcate these values, the sense of humanism, a deep concern for the well-being of others and the nation will be inculcated in them. So today, I don't have much time, so I am cutting short some of the part of my talk and straight away coming to the topic, that is the role of the teacher. So each teacher has to be a value educator and a role model. The teacher has to be a living example of desirable values that he or she wants the students to imbibe. Teachers should realize that teaching is not only a profession but a mission. In this mission, the teacher should be a source of inspiration. The teacher should create right situation, activities and environment for development of specific values in their children. So there are many suggestions about how we can go about this. We can practice those values which are expected to be inculcated among children. We can consciously avoid manifestation of undesirable values in our behavior. Identifying the potential areas and situations in different subjects for inculcating values. Integrating values with learning of content and skills in all curricular activities, that means classroom, laboratory, workshop, on-the-job training, project work, etc. Organizing visits and field trips to develop cultural and aesthetic values in children. Motivating children for participation in social events and practical classes. Organizing parent-teacher association meetings to highlight the specific role of parents towards inculcation of values in their children. The list goes on. I am not going to read the entire thing or share with you any of the books on value education. You will see a big list of the things that we are supposed to do. So teaching learning processes and interactions among teachers and pupils have unlimited potentials for value generation. So the role of the teacher in the changing social scenario is very challenging. Now we have to see that how the role has been changed. In the earlier times, the teacher was the only source of information. If anything, the student wants to know, the student will come to the teacher and ask. The student used to consider the teacher as a guru. So anything and everything, the student will come to the teacher and ask. And they may not even believe the parents. They will believe the teachers than the parents. But today, you see things have changed. Today we have multiple information centers. Students can, get lot of opportunities. I mean, they have books, they have libraries. But more than that, the internet facilities like social media, AI, ChatGPT, so many things are there for the students, and they don't need to come to the teacher for the information. So all this has made, the role of the teacher. I would say the teacher's role as the only source of information has been marginalized. Suppose the student wants to know anything, they will suddenly go to the Google. They will Google it, they will go to the ChatGPT or whatever way that they can get the things done, they do it apart from the teacher. So it is a challenging job today to help the students, especially in the field of values and ethics. But there is no doubt that in spite of all this, the teacher plays a very critically significant role in value education. So value education goes on constantly in the college or the school through its various ongoing curricular and co-curricular activities. So value education is not a sphere of activity distinct from the teacher's other professional activities like teaching, guiding pupils and interacting with them, organizing co-curricular activities, etc. So the teacher as a value educator has to function as an agent who stimulates, provokes, informs, sensitizes, awakens the moral and aesthetic thinking of students on various matters that affect them as individuals and the larger society. Through various teaching learning activities which involve the learners actively, the teacher can make them think and reflect on human actions and events. By providing concrete situations and opportunities, the teacher can help students practice and realize the values. So, in closing, I would like to read a few points from the Code of Professional Ethics for Teachers in relation to students. The teacher shall treat all students with love and affection and be just and impartial to all, irrespective of caste, creed, sex, status, religion, language, and place of birth. The teacher will help the students in their intellectual, physical, social, emotional, developmental and intrinsic values and character. Promote scientific temper and the spirit of inquiry, creative self-expression and aesthetic sense, leadership qualities, right concepts and right attitudes towards environment among the students, and encourage them to ask questions to satisfy their curiosity. Develop in the students love for manual work and respect for others. Enable the students to appreciate our rich cultural heritage and unity in its diversity. Be mindful of the individual needs and differences of students and their socio-cultural backgrounds and adapt his or her teaching accordingly. Speak and act with students with respect and shall not divulge confidential information about students except to those who are legitimately entitled to it. Inculcate a sense of love for the motherland and universal brotherhood among students. Set a standard of trust, speech and behavior worthy of example to the students. See, the list goes on, but I have to conclude. So if we teachers, if we follow these professional ethics, I am sure that we will be able to make a difference in the lives of many students. And not only that, it will help us to transform the students to be the torch bearers of values and ethics for tomorrow. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you, sir, for your informative, wise and enlightening words. Our second plenary speaker for the day is Dr. Annalena George, an associate professor at GBM's Dr. Dada Vaidya College of Education. She has presented talks on a wide range of topics at both the national and international forums. Dr. George is also a resource person for the Malavia mission at Goa University. In addition to her academic contributions, she has also published numerous books, journals, and articles. She has also led a biodiversity project founded by the government of Goa. Let us all welcome Dr. Annalena George with a round of applause as she addresses the gathering.
Almost good afternoon. First of all, thanking the organizers for giving me opportunity to speak on such an auspicious occasion like a World Conference, where we are in association right now, online and offline, with many intellectuals and thinking minds. Some are in front of me, some are online. So let's start. You may be wondering, what's the title of the talk today? I have put a title of the talk. It's a Latin word called quo vadimus. Quo vadimus means, where are we going? There is another Latin word called saying quo vadis, where are you going? Quo vadimus, where are we going? Okay? So I felt that kind of a question is coming to our mind when we say sustainability, the way ahead. Okay, so that's the way I have framed it. Sustainable development is development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. So this we already know. So just to recap, I thought that I will say that sustainability is something that we are using resources. But let's rephrase it. I feel that meet the needs of the present without compromising the ability of the generations to meet their own needs. How do we meet the needs? By using resources. But now we should say that we should try to use as much as less of virgin resources. Virgin resources means which are still not used, they're still there. So that kind of a thought is what we should think of when we say sustainable development. In today's talk, I will be talking about indigenous knowledge systems and sustainability. Can we take anything from our indigenous knowledge system all over the world? I will be discussing only from some examples from India, but indigenous knowledge systems are a great source where they can show us a way for sustainability and sustainable lifestyle and consumption. Our lifestyle, does it have anything to do with sustainability? Okay? We will need to make transformational changes in the way we produce and consume food, as well as bolder and more ambitious conservation efforts. Whenever we think of conservation or we think of biodiversity conservation or sustainability, we only think about electricity, pollution, growing more forests and all that. Do we ever think of how we produce food? We never think of that, isn't it? So how we produce food, how we consume, and such things are major drivers as far as sustainability and conservation is concerned. These are the 17 Sustainable Development Goals given by United Nations in 2015 and which we are aiming to achieve by 2030. This is the aim of 193 countries from 2015 in association with United Nations. In fact, Government of India has got Niti Aayog. If you go and see Ministry of Niti Aayog, the website is full of schemes and activities and so many actions Government of India is doing to achieve these 73 Sustainable Development Goals, in short known as SDGs. Okay? I will not be going into all that, but just to give you a background. One of the Sustainable Development Goals, that is SDG 1, is about end poverty in all its forms everywhere. End poverty. Not tolerate poverty, not reduce poverty, end. In that, if you go on the internet and if you check SDG 1, you will find targets under that. You know how to achieve this? There are targets. So one of the targets is eradicate extreme poverty. We are aiming for that. Another is building resilience to environmental, economic and social disasters. So our society should be something that is resilient. We can come back, jump back, you know. So that is coming. When we say poverty, we feel, chalo sabko khana khila do, you know, everybody will have food, everybody will have clothes and poverty is over. That's not the whole idea of poverty. It's more broader than that. Second SDG is zero hunger. It's not less hunger, zero hunger. That means nobody should be hungry. End hunger, achieve food security. Oh, you don't have food, I'll give you food. That's not the whole idea. How long will you give? And improve nutrition. We don't think of nutrition. Is it pet bhar gaya? Chalo. Everybody is full. You know, our stomach is full, we are happy. That is not sustainable development. That doesn't come under SDG. SDG doesn't accept just having food. They are saying it should be nutrition. And promote sustainability. You see how they have connected hunger, nutrition and agriculture. It cannot be separate. It has to be same. What you grow should be nutritious. What you eat should be nutritious. How you grow should help us to grow even further. Isn't it? So that is why all this United Nations has put it as one goal. Now you see the targets under that goal. I am giving you this to give you a background and then we will go into our detailed discussion. Just for you to know. Double the productivity and income of small-scale food producers. The small food producers who sit on the roadside, you know, they sell little bit of bhaji, isn't it? Little bit of leafy vegetable, little cucumbers. They're talking about that. They're talking about that. Double the productivity, improve the income of those people. Next, sustainable food production, resilient agriculture. age-old traditional practices, isn't it? During COVID, everybody was healthy because we were all having vegetables that were grown in our nearby villages where we never went. But because the markets were closed, we used to go. So those farmers used to give us some nice vegetables, and we found the benefit of what is the meaning of organic farming and how good it is. Many people shifted to organic farming. Maintain the genetic diversity in food production. It is not just one type of, we are having more than 10,000 types of rice species, variety of rice. But how many rice we find in the shop? Maybe 1 or 2 or 3, because we will eat one variety throughout our life. So what happens to the others? They die. So the amount of food grains required to feed the millions is reduced because we look upon only one type. So that is another. So maintain, that's why United Nations is saying, maintain the genetic diversity. If you have 10,000 types of rice, maintain that. So that if one goes, still people will have something to eat. Now you see this. That 17 sustainable goals that I had shown you, you see how they have bifurcated it. They have bifurcated it into biosphere, society, economy. And you see, biosphere is the biggest circle. If your biosphere is gone, none of your sustainable goals are going to be achieved. We cannot achieve any of the sustainable goals if we don't have the biosphere. Under biosphere, there is Sustainable Development Goal, SDG 15, 14, 6 and 13. These are exclusively on our water and our land. If we don't take care of our water, don't take care of our land, our society is gone, there is no economy. Because they are all fitting it into the bigger circle. Now, let's see this. This is a little scary. Current global food systems, that means what we are growing everywhere. We want fruits, we want vegetables, we want all kinds of vegetables wherever they are grown. Isn't it? We want all kinds, we want seaweed right under the ocean we want. Isn't it? Is there anything that we don't want? We want that animal, we want this animal, we want to eat this. There is no limit. Isn't it? Human being just wants everything. What happens because of that? Okay, so that all that comes in food system. Food system is not just growing. Food system is more than that. Because of that, 27% of the greenhouse gases emission is because of our food production, because of the agriculture style that we are having. 70% of the fresh water is gone because of us. We want this type of fish, we don't want that type of fish. We put all kinds of pollutants and we have got our own way of fishing. So it affects the fish. Next. Then we have 86% threat to all the animals because we want more land. 90% of the agriculture removes all our tropical rainforests. What is happening? We are cutting it because we need more land for what? For agriculture. Can you get? So all the destruction we are seeing, whether it is global deforestation, terrestrial biodiversity loss, or global greenhouse gases, any problem that we are facing, the prime driver is agriculture. Because we want more and more land to grow, and fish, isn't it? So all that, and even cattle, animal husbandry, more dairy, everything. So doing so one of the statements that I believe all of you know David Attenborough, isn't it? You must be knowing David Attenborough. His statement, doing so will require systemic shifts in how we produce food. See, again and again, they are not talking about plant trees. They are talking about give more attention to how you are producing the food. That means our agriculture, our animal husbandry, all fishing, all that we are doing, we need to think. Because it is from there the problems of sustainable development comes. So what can we do? Good. Our second SDG was zero hunger. So what can we do for zero hunger? Simple. All food systems are sustainable from production to consumption. Now from production to consumption means now sitting in India, I want something that is made in South America. Now that's going to be very, very expensive. It is going to make a toll on the environment, isn't it? You'll have to ship it. You'll have to send it by aeroplane, isn't it? And what happens to that particular place? They will stop all other agriculture and start growing only that which is having international demand. So it affects their biodiversity. They will not grow the remaining things, they will grow only one thing because India has got huge demand for whatever, avocado or whatever. You are getting, so this is how, so that is why sustainable from production to consumption. Okay, now then it requires refrigeration, it requires transport, so much we are putting pressure on environment because I like it. You know, बहुत अच्छा लगता है. I can't live without, you know, all those kinds of. All an end to rural poverty, double the small scale producers' income, and so we are always neglecting the small producers. They are not found in the huge markets. They are found on the roadside. They are having small kiosks, small shops. They grow just behind that and they sell. Oh no, we are not interested in that. We want something that has miles and miles, has traveled and then come into the market, then go into the refrigerator, then go into the mall, and then we will go there by car, and then we will. You see the amount of energy and the amount of time that is wasted on the cost of the lady who is sitting just on the roadside. The fellow who is sitting on the roadside and selling, we don't want that. We want something that has come from far. So that's why that kind of adapt all food systems to eliminate loss, food loss. The biggest problem in the world is waste of food, not availability of food. Imagine all the environmental problems we have created because we are producing food. And after that we waste it. What a loss, isn't it? We are doing greenhouse gases, we are feeling the heat, and then we are wasting the food. So food waste is something that we are doing. If you reduce on that, zero hunger can be achieved. Access to adequate food and healthy food for all people all around the year. It is not that once upon a time, I'll feel good, I have given food to everybody. No, that doesn't work. An end to malnutrition in all its forms. Isn't it? That is why we are giving midday meal to children, and so many government organizations are doing so much to manage the midday meal and to give nutritive food to mother and child. See here, look at this, earth is there, and you can see on one side, they are having so much to eat. Only 3 people are there, and so many people are there to eat, and there is only one plate. So this kind of an extreme is going on in our world. The way we produce, consume food and energy, and the blatant disregard of the environment entrenched in our current economic model has pushed the natural world to its limits. That is why we are facing it, isn't it? We are having the climate change has reached here, isn't it? We are all suffering, we are all facing it. In terms of temperature, in terms of rainfall, in terms of ice melting in the northern pole, everything we are facing, isn't it? Because of our food production. You see, sustainable development metrics, 3 main things: the planet on which we are living, the profit that we want to make, and the people that are living on the planet. There has to be a coordination between these 3. Then only sustainable development is possible. See on the top, if you can remove all that, see the top 2 columns of this pyramid. You see what's given there. Sustainable behavior and action. Right now we were talking about ethics, isn't it? It is definitely related to ethics. Okay? And sustainable culture. There has to be a culture of sustainability. Now you see, culturally sustainable business opportunities tapping into the traditional innovation and ancient wisdom. When we see old people in our village or in our family, we think that, they may not be knowing anything. What will they know? I know everything because I can press the mobile. Isn't it? You can check the mobile, that's why we know everything. But the indigenous people, they can preserve the ancient wisdom. They don't have knowledge, they have wisdom, which is far above their knowledge. Far above. Sustainable agriculture, they know it. Herbal medicine, they have a treasure of herbal medicine. Indigenous art and craft, we don't have to say. They are full of that. Traditional construction techniques, how to construct the temples. The temples and the houses that were made 200, 300, 500 years ago are still going on. That means their construction techniques are reliable. Isn't it? And indigenous ecotourism. Did they have ecotourism? That is something that we have to check. Now, this is an example that I want to give from Kerala. There is a tribe called the Kani tribe. The Kani tribe are known, they are nomadic. That means they don't stay in one place. They were found, they are very good at herbal medicine. So, Arogya is the plant which has been identified and now known all over the world. These people, this particular tribe, they have got something called, they have a group, they were identified, they have a group called Plati. Plati is the group in the tribe, they are the physicians of that group. They know to identify the plants and they know what to do with it. So this kind of knowledge, tremendous knowledge that they had, was identified by this organization, Jawaharlal Nehru Tropical Botanical Garden and Research Institute. They found that this Kanni tribe are very good at it. And this particular plant, Arogya Bacha, they have now made it into a product called Jeevani. Now what is the speciality of this? It is good for those who are doing high endurance sports people or adventures and treks and athletes where you cannot manage with the food that you eat. Excellent for those kind of people. So what has been done? So what was done is, it is done by the leaf and we cannot identify it. Those people in Kanni tribe, they are good at it. So what was done? The benefit sharing between this organization and Kanni tribe, they have done it and now they have been awarded. United Nations Equator Award has been given. What is done? The benefit of this producing by Jeevani, by the organization, the benefit goes back to the tribe. The Kanni tribe is getting the benefit of making of this Jeevani. So here we can see how we can commercialize and give the benefit back to the tribe using the indigenous knowledge. So that I wanted to just show you. So it is not that they are there in the forest. No, we can use it. We can use and we can give the tribe. Now comes fashion. We are all interested in fashion. Anybody not interested in fashion? Everybody is interested in fashion, isn't it? No, we will never think of fashion when we think of sustainability or biodiversity or conservation or pollution. We never think of fashion, isn't it? But fashion industry thrives on demand, isn't it? Higher the demand, more the supply. Now, an increased demand, fast fashion leads to the overproduction, which turns into generates waste. Now you see the last slide. India, one of the largest textile industries in the world, contributing to 11% of the GDP, it ranks third in the total waste product of 7,800 kilotons of textile waste. We are producing waste. Just imagine textile waste. So now what happens to the textile waste? Generally people buy more out of influence than need, isn't it? There is one exhibition, let us go. After 2 days, here is one exhibition, let us go. There it is 50% off, let us go. Am I right? It is not out of need. It is there. Tomorrow I may not get it, so let me buy it. So it is because of that kind of thing. So most of what happens to the unused material? Most of the unused material end up in the landfills as we go, they are just wasted there. And what happens? Leading to seepage of chemicals into the soil, affecting groundwater, increasing global warming, and releasing more methane into the atmosphere. Can you believe that innocent looking cloth can create so much of problems? It can, isn't it? So that's why there are many organizations which are using I wanted to show you something. So there are organizations which are making materials out of the waste. For example, sanitary pads, quilts made out of layers of cloth fabric and carry bag of waste. They are doing that, isn't it? Government of India has taken many measures to use waste cloth and waste material to promote recycle. There are many very, very good brands. I wanted to show you. This is a bag that is made out of my old dress. This is an old dress converted into a bag. This pouch that you are seeing is my old sari. Old sari converted into a pouch. Okay, there are many pouches of this, but I brought the biggest one to show you. I have cushion cover made out of my old silk sari. Why I am showing is this is the idea of recycle. That is the whole idea. No need of throwing, we can use it. Again another bag. Okay. Again another pouch from another sari of mine. And then a very nice bag. This is also out of my own dress. So instead of throwing my dress, I have converted them into wherever possible. And there are people doing only this. Thrift business, it's called, upcycling. upscaling. We say what to do with it, upscaling. Okay. Just to show you that it can be done, and it can be done in Goa. That's why I thought I would just show you. Thank you so much. So now there are many big industries also which are looking into recycling and reuse of used materials, particularly in the fashion industry. So what can we do? Sustainable fashion. Isn't we never thought of, we think of sustainable agriculture, sustainable education, sustainable fashion. I thought why not? We all know it. So fabrics from easily renewable crops. Which are the crops which can? So when we are doing the shopping, let us do this also, not just whether it is 50% off or 30% off, let us go into all this. Biodegradable packing. Are they giving biodegradable packing? If they are giving, then I will buy from them. Okay? Now shoes. Recycled rubber resin shoes. Now shoes, it's a big industry. So now they are making it out of anything that is not leather, anything that is not rubber, so that we don't put more pressure on environment. Isn't it? And we are planning, now there are many industries in Chennai and different parts of India where they are making what we call as the trainers, or trainer shoes, Nike type of shoes, which you don't have to import it from America because that becomes very expensive. So what I'm trying to show you here is that when we do this, let us see whether these elements can be incorporated into fashion, making it into sustainable fashion. Sunglasses made from waste. If when we buy sunglasses, we can ask them, do you have any sunglasses made out of waste? Then I would like to buy it. So we are helping towards sustainable development. That is what. We cannot make it, but if we can buy something that is recycled, that would be good. So now many industries, many of the companies are now trying to do it to attract more customers. Impact of daily choice. So I thought that what are the things that we can do in our daily basis, in the daily life, which can affect or where we can contribute a little bit towards sustainable development and sustainability. Energy consumption, about our electricity. Let us think about it. Purchasing habits. Should I buy? Should I not buy? Dietary decisions. What should I eat? Should I eat something that is made in Italy and France, or should I eat something that is grown in the local market? Okay. Waste management. Where does my waste go? Isn't it? Where do I put my paper? Where does it go? What happens to the battery? So it's all waste. Transportation choices. Should I walk or should I take the car? Should I take the cycle? Like that. So water usage. I have money, I'll keep the water on because I am purchasing the money. Is that the idea? So zero waste, recycle materials, not ideas. Raise your voice, not the sea level. I like that. Think outside the trash cycle. Not the trash, outside the trash cycle. Think globally, act locally. It's a small planet. Recycle. No chance. Don't trash our future. So India is now going for green buildings. In 2025, we are looking for 1 lakh green buildings. What are these? Now I will have a nice house, I will have a garden, I will use these tiles, I will put these colors. We think only of that, no? We will have AC in all the rooms, in all the corners. I will have AC even for my dogs. Like that. That is our planning. But that's not the planning if we are thinking of sustainable. When we are thinking of sustainable, green building. Okay? Energy use, emission, water use, and solid waste. So now green buildings are coming all over India. All over India, all the builders are thinking in terms of green building. What are they doing? They are promising these. People are now looking out for this, not what tiles you are putting, or what fans you are doing, or what floor, what roof, for example, what walls color you are putting, which company. More than that, they are looking at this. So I just wanted to give you an idea that sustainability has so many things which we are interacting every day. This is one example from Kerala, Urbi Foundation. Maybe some of you must have heard about it. Very good organization. I found their activity to be very good. It's a mission to promote sustainable housing with a strong focus on community involvement and ecological balance. Can you imagine? I'll show you some of the houses that I found from them. I think you will like to have some house like this. Isn't it? I like their designs. And what is their tagline? Less urbanize. Create smart villages, not smart cities. They want the villages to be smart. I like that idea of Urbi Foundation. And sustainable construction, should be carried out by utilizing local materials, incorporating traditional technology. This is the only way to preserve our current environment and climate. Uri Foundation also established an institute aimed at creating a hub for alternative education and environmental research. So, and they have made, this is very good. The houses will be floating in Kuttanad. Kuttanad is a place where they get, floods are very common. Very common thing to have floods. So what they did? Floating houses. Don't you think that's fantastic? This is how sustainable development and sustainability should look like. Small steps. A plastic-free February, isn't it? DIP December, thankful November, energy-efficient October, sustainable September, zero waste August, water saving July. I like this. Active April. So we are in that active mode. That's good. That's why we are having conference. Active April. Meatless March. Okay. 6 R's of sustainability. Rethink, refuse, repair, reduce, reuse, and recycle. The most important of that is now rethink. Think again and again and again. Isn't it? Now, this I wanted to show you. I have to go back. It will go back. Wait. This jasmine flower, we all know about jasmine flower, isn't it? So this particular tribe from Maharashtra, they were about to leave the place because there was no water, they can't grow anything, so they were about to migrate.